Time flies when you're having fun. Texas lands two more guys in the portal. They land Levon Johnson earlier, and now they land Jack Endries and Mason Shipley. I go to the gym. I come back, two more guys. So let's talk about them. Jack Endries, we already talked about a little bit, but visited from Texas this week from Cal, originally from California. According to Pro Football Focus, this guy is the second returning tight end in the country, now belongs to the Texas Longhorns. 56 receptions, 623 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11.1 yards per catch. We're talking about a guy that led his team in receiving, a decent Cal team. That Cal team was a team that probably should have beat Miami if not for Cam Ward just pulling off magical stuff. They had a really good quarterback with Mendoza, now at Indiana, and Texas beats out Miami. They beat out Oklahoma. They beat out Indiana. They beat out Alabama for this guy. So this is a gigantic get for Texas to land Jack Endries. What I like about him is he can play inline, he can play outside. He's very versatile. Again, this staff loves versatility. They love guys that can do multiple things. This guy can block. He's 6'3", 6'4", 240 pounds. Really good athlete. And this is something we needed. You know, you go from Jatavian Sanders the year before, you go from Gunnar Helm last year, and then you go to this guy, because let's be honest here, we didn't really have any guy that had any run. Jordan Washington didn't really have any run last year. Spencer Shannon didn't have any run last year. The one guy that had a little bit of run, Amari Niblack, came in and left immediately. I believe he's now with Texas A&M. So overall, I think this is a phenomenal get from Texas. Going into this portal window, I thought tight end, I thought kicker if we really needed it, I thought defensive tackle. We have landed that in the first couple days of the spring portal window, and we also landed a wide receiver, which I think you could have made an argument we really didn't need. It's nice to have it because I think Emmett Mosley is going to be a really good football player, but this really helps out Texas landing Jack Endries, because again, this is the safety blanket for someone like Arch Manning. Arch Manning has yet to play a full season at Texas. He's yet to play 3 games at Texas. Or start in 3 games at Texas. So I think this is a really big get. I think it allows for the younger guys to come on slower. They don't have to jump in and play right away. We don't have to see guys like Jordan Washington, Spencer Shannon, Nick Townsend come in and play versus Ohio State. That can be Jack Endries for 70-80% of those snaps, and then supplement with those guys. And then guess what? A little bit each week, you put them in a little bit more because they have talent. Spencer Shannon is a talented guy. Jordan Washington is a talented guy. I'm very high on Nick Townsend. I think now Nick Townsend could be the best tight end Texas had since Jermichael Finley or David Thomas. Pick your poison there. I think he's that good. But are they ready to play at Ohio State week 1? Probably not. That's a really tall task to ask somebody. So I think this is a gigantic get for this staff for multiple reasons to land Jack Endries. And I think he's a really good football player. I think there's a debate. You know, we were in on the Max Clare race earlier in the offseason, and I said, damn, this guy's an NFL tight end. He's really high level, probably second-round pick whenever he decides to come out. I think Jack Endries is right in that position. I think Jack Endries can be a second-round pick in the NFL draft when he decides to come out, whether that be next year or the year after. It'd be nice to have him for a couple of years. You know, that's another thing, too, with all these guys. Emmett Mosley, you're going to have for multiple years. Levon Johnson, you're going to have for multiple years. There's a really good chance you could also have someone like Jack Endries for multiple years, which would be phenomenal. And I think it just raises the floor of Texas. You know, the floor for me was 9-3. I think with the additions, I think 10-2 is the floor. I really believe that. I think we're 10-2 to 12-0. Somewhere between that is what I think we're going to end up. Now, let's talk about the kicker position, because, you know, it isn't a flashy position, but this is a position that has cost us. It has cost us. And this team has struggled in the red zone under Steve Sarkisian in the last couple years. If you're going to struggle in the red zone, you need a reliable kicker. We won games because of Bert Auburn 2 years ago and because of his reliability. Last year, we lost some games. I think we lost the SEC championship game because of Bert Auburn. Let's be honest here. If he makes 2 of those kicks, we win that game. That Arizona State game, if he makes that kick going down the stretch, I don't think we need Quinn Ewers heroics. I don't think we need Matthew Golden heroics. So I think this is a really big, underrated get here. I was someone that thought this time had kind of passed. I really did not see this happening. I thought it was over. I really did. I did not think the time to bring in a kicker was going to happen because Bert Auburn stuck around. It seemed like Will Stone and him were going back and forth who's going to win the job. And then all of a sudden he's gone. And I like Bert. I think Bert is a good kicker. Do I think he's an NFL kicker? I don't know. Whereas the guys before him, I knew were NFL kickers. I knew Cameron Dicker was an NFL kicker. I knew Justin Tucker was an NFL kicker. I knew even Nick Rose, because of the leg, was an NFL kicker. Bert Auburn doesn't have the greatest leg, and then you see him lose some accuracy. So I really like this get. Mason Shipley comes in out of Texas State. Over the years there, he is 30 of 34. That is a phenomenal, phenomenal percentage. And then even better, he has made a 60-yard field goal. We have not had a 60-yard kick here in a while. I don't even know if Cameron Dicker did that. I know Bert Auburn did not do that. He didn't have the leg for it. So I think that adds, that's a weapon, guys. When a guy can make a 60-yard field goal, you don't need to go as far, obviously, on the field to get points. And then if you have a guy that's consistent also, the red zone doesn't become as important. It's still important, very important, but it's not as important if you have a kicker who's consistent. So he's consistent, has a big leg. He's 10 of 12 beyond 40. I think that's a big reason why Bert Auburn kind of got the boot from Texas. He was very inconsistent beyond 40 yards. He was pretty good within 40 yards, but I think his field goal percentage last year was somewhere like 71%, 68%, 69%. It was somewhere in that range. It was not very good for Bert Auburn. So to get someone like Mason Shipley, who's 30 of 34, what is that, like 89, 90%? That is a phenomenal, phenomenal get for the Texas Longhorns. Special teams, I expect to be better. You have Jack Baumeister, who you got from Utah, all Pac-12 punter, already added, already practicing with the team in the fall portal window. And then you get this guy from Texas State. Our special teams got a lot better, and it was phenomenal 2 years ago. If we can get back to even 70, 80% of that, that's phenomenal. We'll see if we had a kick returner. I know there was a BYU kick returner that just entered the portal. I think that is something you could watch because if they don't feel comfortable with guys catching punts, who knows? Maybe they go after someone like that. Right now, I think DeAndre Moore is that guy, but he's been hurt, so I don't know how he can get better with no reps. So that would be something I could see adding, but I think we're basically done, guys. We got our kicker, we got an interior defensive lineman, we got a wide receiver. We added between the two portal windows 4 interior defensive linemen, a kicker, a punter, a linebacker, and a wide receiver. That is a very, very good portal window for this Texas Longhorns team. I think they did a phenomenal job filling in the gaps in the roster, and I think this team can be really good. I had some worries going into the season of this team probably going, 9-3, honestly. Those are gone now. I don't think this team goes 9-3. I think 10-2 is the floor. I really do. I think 12-0 is the ceiling, which is crazy to say because I even think next year, the 2027 season, I think that's national championship loading. I really believe that. So if Texas is able to go above and beyond that of my expectations this year, we could be talking about a team that wins back-to-back SEC championships and then a team that can win back-to-back national championships. And that's crazy to think about 4 years ago when Steve Sarkisian came in. He's done a phenomenal job. That does it for this video, guys. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. Again, guys, we are here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, breaking it down for you live. A lot of recruiting news. We're going to talk about these along with my co-host Gerald as well because he didn't get his point of view, so I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys for joining us, and as always, hook 'em.